everyone, welcome back to the LaceUp With Mickey podcast. This is episode 8 already. On today's episode, we have Aston, Mr. Ocho Rios, founder of Ocho Rios Distributors here in Miami. Aston, how you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael.
The reason why I brought Aston on the podcast today is because he is one of the most interesting people I've ever met. Every time we have a conversation, even those conversations that he's forgotten about 5 years ago, I'm absolutely fascinated. He captures your attention, and he's going to really be able to walk us through his journey, having started Ocho Rios from nothing to having all of this. So Aston, the way I start all these podcasts is I ask you, talk to me about your history. How did you get started?
In Miami in 1987, Michelle, my wife, and I got into this business by accident. I was a salesman for one of the existing companies, and after 2 months, the business doubled, and I felt that this wasn't going to be our future. So I said to Michelle, what if I were to try our own little company? And the name Ocho Rios, with her blessing, came up because there are so many Spanish customers in Miami, and I wanted them to be familiar with a name like Ocho Rios, which is 8 rivers. So today, fast forward 32 years, we have the plantain chips from Colombia that are really crunchy and delightful, always fresh, as one of our flagship products. As well as you can tell, we have coconut water. But that's jumping ahead. We first started with Jamaican products, Michael, and we were selling the brands that Jamaicans knew, being from Jamaica. And I grew up in the retail trade as a child in my grandparents' store or bodega, and so I had a lot of training. The joke goes that everything was behind the counter. So at the tender age of 10, we got our BSc behind the shop counter. We had to pick up all the items behind the shop counter for the customer. So with that knowledge, I called up the manufacturers in Jamaica. And they even queried, this item only sells during Easter. Why would you want to sell it throughout the year? I said, hey, give it a shot. Let me have some. So the marketing DNA was sharpened by trying products that people thought, no, it wouldn't go. But let the consumers decide. By 1996, we started adding the Ocho Rios brand to our product mix. The top feature of our products are the art of great taste. All the labels should speak like a Michelangelo or Picasso, and that is our invitation for the customer to look at the products. And the second thing is the quality keeps them coming back. The price, of course, is attractive. So there you have it. Good looks, great quality, great taste, coming over to Ocho Rios.
And Aston, how did you come up with, how do you come up with all these different designs for all these different products? Do you dream of them at night? Like, where does the idea come? Obviously you said the customer requests it, but how do you take that from a request all the way to a physical, tangible product?
It all starts with the quality of the product first, Michael. Once we identify that the product has a validity, we sharpen the flavor. For example, Jamaican jerk is synonymous with the allspice that is in Jamaica, and it's barbecued. I heard from the customers that they don't Jamaican. Oh, it's too spicy for me. So what I did, I went to the manufacturer and asked them to cut back on the spiciness. So we came up with a mild. So in a way, we created a new product from an existing product by taking care of what the customer wanted. So that's one example of having my ear to the consumer to see what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, for example, our cucumber soda, I have them test it with a group, and they said, wow. I said, we gotta go with that. But it takes time to have products that people are not expecting per se. And over time, it's just consistency, a lot of groundwork before people actually accept the product. Yeah.
Okay, and for us, I mean, it's really similar. We get a request from the customer, okay, and then we have to sit down and figure out, well, how can this request benefit everybody, right? Because obviously, if somebody requests something, there's a demand for it. So first we test the demand, then we sit down and we spec it out in a way that makes sense for everybody, and then we sit down and build it. And the way we follow this process is ensures that there's a certain level of quality that gets met. So the question, Aston, is how do you maintain the quality of all these products? Do you have laboratories? Like, is there testing labs? Is there people that quality control your product? How do you do that?
Essentially, it comes down to the flavor profile. It must hit the sweet spot of what we call flavorful. Being from Jamaica, I personally ate mangoes that dropped in my hand from the branch. So I don't smoke, I don't drink yet. So the authenticity of nature comes right to my cranium. And so amongst our panel of sales reps and some select customers, we fine tune the flavor first. Now the quality, we have to make sure that the manufacturer is certified by the FDA, and when the shipments arrive, they're gonna be tested at random to make sure that they're clean, no foreign objects, especially our ackee. Ackee is the national fruit of Jamaica. For a while they were banned. When the problem was that the natural vegetable from the tree has a toxin that before it's opened, it's inside. So when people eat it, they can, if they have a low immune system, they can die. So what the FDA wanted was to ensure that the ackees were open naturally and the toxins will escape, then they were safe. But there were tests that had to be done by labs that the FDA approved so that there's no toxins, well, an acceptable maximum level of like 150 per million parts or something like that. So to accentuate again, the FDA keeps a good handle on the quality of the products. But to go in line with what you just said, the customers demand certain products. So for example, saw palmetto honey is a Floridian product, and saw palmetto is known to help men with their issues with the prostate. So unique combinations also to shorten cooking time, like green pigeon peas were in the market. Then we added coconut milk in it to give it a nice new flavor. So people will say, oh, why do I need to buy your green pigeon peas with coconut milk? And it was featured in Miami Herald in 3 hurricane seasons as one of the products to get because cooked already and it's tasty and it's priced right. So essentially you get a very improved taste, and yet the price is better than buying individual. So you're win-win.
Okay, so the most important thing, I mean, it sounds to me like you're a product person. You love the product, you design the product, you see it from idea to fruition. Now, obviously, a business is the product, but it's also sales. Right? And every encounter we've had together, I've realized that you're a really good salesperson. Can you share with the audience, right, what your sales strategy is, how you're able to make these relationships with people? I mean,
okay,
give us some tips.
I genuinely I'm impressed with the LaceUp organization because I got a phone call from Ryan. What's Ryan's last name again? Vista,
yeah.
And I'm saying, this is the call I've been waiting for. I've been researching for a solution to help us tighten our sales process. And I get this call. So what is the point here is that marketing is going out there and relating to people on a level that is so personal, and the value that Ryan said, come on over, and I met you. And so that cemented from day one our relationship because of that personal outreach. So initially, this is the first product we came up with, the spice bun, raisins, nutmeg, cinnamon, made in Jamaica. And what we did was sample tasting. We guaranteed our customers, who are the store owners, that, hey, Mikel, this is a brand new product. I guarantee to sell for you. If you're not happy, I take it back, no questions asked. So money back guarantee. You see me to back it up, and so it's my personal integrity that I employed as a marketing baby step, so to speak. But later on, we had demos done by attractive young ladies who will cook the rice and beans and stuff. Or even my daughter had done some demos at the opposite FIU at the public supermarket. So tasting and demoing are essential to breaking the product into the marketplace.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is the parallels between our two businesses, because the way that we started Aston, there wasn't one deal we could close without a free trial, and then a money back guarantee.
Oh wow!
Why? Because we were the new entrant into the marketplace. Imagine, my uncle had been around since 2001, but we didn't start going full-fledged deep into this business until 2015. So he had a business, he had some customer base established, but we start cold calling customers. And the customer's like, well, who are these guys? We've never heard of the brand, we've never heard of LaceUp. They were calling it LaceUp, LaceUp, Lexus, somebody called us Lexus. But anyways, the way that I got them always was, look, I'm gonna put, like you said, my personal integrity on the line and my time. I'm gonna set this whole thing up for you, okay? You're gonna run it for 30 days. At which point, at that 30-day mark, if you're happy with the system, you'll pay me the fee that we agreed to up front, and we'll be business partners forever.
Amen.
Otherwise, we'll cut our losses and that's it.
Wow.
So we had to put on the line 30 days worth of our time, because these implementations, as you know, are not simple.
No.
We had to put on the line, like you said, our face. My uncle says there's a phrase in Spanish, darle la cara al cliente, giving your face to the customer, right? I am the face of the company, so I have to pull through and make sure that after those 30 days, they sign up with me, because even if they didn't spend any money with me, they're gonna feel bad about the fact that I lied to them and didn't fulfill, their expectations. So I think there's a lot of parallels in starting a business. The importance of a free trial, the importance of a money back guarantee are critical to getting new customers.
I think that you're right. There's a lot of parallel right there. Yeah. Parallels, money back guarantee, and the integrity behind the company. That is very, very important. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and now Aston, once you started, right, now you've got the product, now you've got your money back guarantee. How did you go around to these customers? Did you cold call them? What did you do?
We had to approach the customers. For example, this supermarket chain called Publix. Going there repeatedly, they would say, jury's out, we haven't decided yet. But in the meantime, the competition had already started selling the Jamaican products. So in due course, maybe after a year and a half, 2 years, they welcome not only Ocho Rios, but other Jamaican distributors into their, to offer to their customers. So the thing is determination. I didn't give up. As long as they don't say, don't come back, I'll be back.
And the question is, because I talk about this on my Instagram all the time. As a matter of fact, this morning I did a story about the fact that anytime you do anything in business, you meet resistance.
Right.
Tremendous resistance. And after a while, you recognize that this resistance is normal, and all you have to do is keep hitting that resistance until you break through, right? And I think that, to me, is one of my personal principles in business. Like, somebody tells me no, I'm like, okay, I got to try again. I had a customer tell me no, big customer, because they go, Mickey, we see you on YouTube, we see you on Instagram, we see you on these social networks, but we think you can't cater to a customer as big as us. That was their answer. So I was like, challenge accepted. Phone calls, personal videos, emails with my face on it saying, guys, I want you as a customer, money back guarantee. Long story short, we end up closing that deal for $30,000,
Wow.
okay, and $3,000 a month, which at the time was a big win for us.
Exactly. Well, that's a huge win.
Yeah. So it's important to touch upon being persistent, right? And circling that story back to you, I mean, how did you utilize persistence? Because at first, I'm sure this wasn't easy. How persistent did you have to be? How many years did it take to get this built out to the size that it is?
There were times, Michael, that you will doubt yourself if things were going to pan out. So I didn't share with you, but I was trained by New York Life Insurance Company in New York. And when a prospect says no or not yet, it could be just need more information. So I will give it a different twist, so to speak. Can I say, okay, Mikael, you know that the products are tasty, you know the price point is right. What else can we do to earn your business? And you will say, okay, I need to know, do you have the trucks? You know, you need more information. So once I can fish what it is that is the obstacle, maybe it's just more information that the prospect needs.
Now you start getting customers, you're distributing the product to them. What were the initial headaches that you encountered as you started scaling Ocho Rios?
Oh boy, that is a good question. We had gone through different softwares. So I used DAC-Easy. We find that the reports that we needed were not so easily printed. And so we tried different softwares with dire consequences. So I'm really looking for the opportunity that LaceUp so far is providing, that it'll be seamless, it'll be intuitive, and we all will be prosperous. So that is my objective.
Perfect. So you just touched upon a really good objective for a lot of distributors, and those that come on the show, they always touch upon the fact that they want software to automate their business, right? Whether it be through reporting or through eliminating manual data entry and stuff like that. And not to plug ourselves, but these solutions, what they do is they enable the business to scale. And whether the listener buys our software or not, the importance is the listener should always consider, as a business owner, what process is manual, what process can I automate, right? And how can I streamline the entire distribution process to save me money and ultimately be able to expand and grow my business. But I want to use that as a segue, Aston, because the technology is great, right? But I want to know about the times where you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, what did I get myself into? There have to be those times where you hit yourself against the wall, and you get in your own head as an entrepreneur at that moment in time, and you start putting yourself down. I want to know about what's one of those times that you remember that you were really struggling to get this thing really going.
One of the eureka moments, Michael, besides being the software, is that we need to harness information and have it accessible really quickly. So it's not that I did not want to update our software, but the big challenge was to find a cost-effective solution.
Okay.
And I think LaceUp really came to the rescue in that there's not a huge outlay in the beginning, nor on a monthly basis. We both are, the key is we have enough profit, so to speak, to go back and buy more products. But the challenge that we have had are technology to cut out waste. One of the things is when invoices come back, or we can do as LaceUp has, is to have the driver, have the customer sign on the handheld or in a cell phone. So that's going to cut down on paper and inaccuracies and so on, filing. I did programming for a while after college, so I'm well aware of technology, helping business to advance. And the challenge right now, I think, is as far as our model of business, is that we have to be super lean, super lean. So we have to keep track of labels from manufacturers, how many we have left. I think we went through this. besides the fact that as a sales rep, I can interface with my customer and say, hey, you bought 10 cases of cucumber, I can give you a pallet, and I can give you even a better discount, things like that, right in front of the customer. I have this data, So technology is going to be great. One of my challenges is discovery. I'm sure. First of all, I like the team that I have seen here. Everybody's diligently at work. Ryan, yourself, or Giovanni.
Yeah.
Right. You get him, and he answers your real prompt. So customer service, how we can be accountable to our customers. We need to shorten that response time. With LaceUp, I think we can achieve that.
And that's a good segue because he touched upon our customer service. In my opinion, our customer service is what's enabled us to maintain customers for an average of 10 years. So that's our lifetime value for a customer. But in your business, I mean, you guys have been around much longer than we have, right? How important has it been to maintain good customer service with your customers? I like to talk about the fact that if a good customer calls me at any point at night, at 3 a.m, I answer. And I'm sure you've been there as well. So talk to us about the importance of customer service in your business.
You really aced it there, Mikhail, because no matter whether it's a big customer or a small customer, when they have a need, somebody has to jump in and satisfy that customer. And I think you aced it when you said no matter what time of night, if there's a need, somebody's gonna, more than likely you are. But I like Michelle, right? Your uncle. He came from a 15-year service industry. So not long after we signed up, he came personally to our office to see our operation, and we went to break bread, had lunch, and I like that touch. He's like saying, "You're buying the founder. We're behind it," and that's what the customer wants to feel. That at the end of it, you back up everything behind each and every product for each and every customer you can. The other one or two that are very challenging, but as you said, we gotta step up. So that's the point. I think if the team has the same culture and value, that is one of the biggest point to have in an organization, which in the beginning I did not really embrace, since I wanted everybody to have a fair shot. But now in hindsight, you gotta be a little bit more selective.
Okay, so how do you distribute your culture and your mindset amongst your team members? Because at this point, you've got a considerable amount more employees than we do, and for us, it's hard. So how do you do that?
Actually, business teaches us to be rising above what we were yesterday. So essentially, to answer your question, we just have to lead by the way we conduct our policies, what we believe in, acknowledging productivity, give a guy a good big pat and treat him to lunch, but show appreciation. I think as an entrepreneur, we get carried away I got carried away in just looking at numbers and seeing the business grow. I realized in hindsight that we have to empower customer service through the synergy of our team. And that is, to me, my eureka moment at this stage. That we all have to figure out, this is the type of person who can represent the company well and take care of them. So that's my learning moment here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this office too, we do a lot of the similar strategies. First, everybody sees me here working. Wow. Right? And sees my uncle here working. We're here working. We're not on a boat or taking time off. First, because we've got larger goals than what we've accomplished thus far. Amen. But secondly, because everyone here needs to be able to see us. We need to be here as a pillar, as a reference point for whatever they need. And when they see us, they have confidence to make decisions on their own. Mm-hmm. Now that sounds a little counterintuitive, right? Mm-hmm. Because you try to empower your people to make decisions on their own. But when they don't have somebody to rely on when they make the wrong decision, mm-hmm. they're afraid to make the decision. But that because we're here, we empower them to make their own decisions, and because of that, they're able to give our customers the same support that we would give them. They're able to, if a customer's had a bad experience for any reason, happens to all of us, our employees are empowered to give them a credit if need be. right? They know that any decision they make, whether right or wrong, we're going to praise them for making the decision, not reprimand them for making the wrong decision. Now, normally when they make that wrong decision, then we'll talk about what could we have done better, right? To have a better outcome. But that's how we've been able to diffuse our culture into our employees as well. And the crazy thing is, when I started, just like you, it was all me. Me, my uncle, and Ignacio in a garage, in my underwear, literally, shirt off, 120 degrees in Vegas. That was where I was at.
Wow.
Yeah. So, funny story. To go on a little tangent, but when I was getting started, you don't remember this, but I went and visited you at your warehouse.
I think you spoke Spanish to me, didn't you? Maybe that was
Perhaps, but it was crazy. It was like a Wednesday at 7 p.m. You say, "Come here," and to give you some context, I mean, you have a newspaper of you from like 1998 on the wall. It's or maybe early 2000s.
2003.
Yeah.
Miami Herald.
Yeah.
Business Monday.
Yeah. I remember the newspaper, and you gave me a tour of the entire warehouse. And maybe it's ring a bell. I used to call you Aston Martin. You don't remember that? Hopefully, well, it's okay. Anyways, you made an impact on me. You made an impact on me because I saw your ability to first, I felt like when I was with you that we were friends, right?
Thank you.
I felt that your ability to storytell like kind of brought me in, and I was there to pitch you a software and try to sell you LaceUp in 2015, but in reality you ended up teaching me the importance, right, of storytelling and the importance of making someone feel special when you're having a conversation.
Thank you.
So that's why I'm having you on this podcast, because all you did when you came in that door the other day after you scheduled the demo with Ryan, okay, that you radiate this feeling of happiness and you attract people to you. And I'm sure that's why, and for those of you watching, that's why he's successful, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Because of this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Mikael. We came up with the sales phrase, the flavor of happy.
Yeah.
Mikael, today we're going to write a history for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I always think that there will be happy days ahead because of this relationship that we are forming. And I think this business of ours in Miami per se, we are in a very magical city, not to play on the word magic city, but we're here, and we're here to make it, our relationships translate into a better city for all to enjoy, So I'm here with you.
And you just touched on something important. You touched on happiness, right? And that happiness drew me to you. That happiness joined us together, right? Can you talk to us, because a lot of these people that are starting businesses are after money. They're after dollar signs. That's all they care about. But when you start, and this happened to me and my fiance, which is behind the camera filming this podcast right now, I was just after money. I didn't care at what expense. It was almost at the expense of our relationship.
Wow.
And I was just money. You could imagine me, literally. White t-shirt, underwear, and the computer for 16 hours, calling people, and I didn't care about anything else. I got to the point where we finally achieved a level of success that now money, you reach a certain subsistence, right? Where you can afford certain luxuries, but you can live and not have to worry about money anymore. Then I started realizing, well, it's not really about this anymore. It's about finding a way to be happy, which is why I started this podcast and stuff like that. But I want you to touch upon, for the younger person that's looking for the money like me, give us a lesson about happiness. I mean, what are your principles regarding happiness? Like, what is it that you do to remain in a happy mindset? Talk to us about some of those things.
Very good question, Mikael. I also was a victim of that business first. I wouldn't say money first, but business first. And I realized, maybe I didn't realize this early in the game. I wish I had. But to share with you, I have a Christian manufacturer of these very, very successful plantain chips. He says to me a few years ago, I work Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday all day for my family, Sunday all day for God. And I didn't pay it in mind because, hey, it's all about money, right? Business is about success and about growth and about dreams. So I was chasing that American dream. But I think, tantamount to the American dream, as you said. First, you gotta believe in a supreme being, because what has happened to me and my business is I tripped when I didn't have God in my foresight. I mean, I'm not trying to convert anybody, but when I look at being held up 3 times with a gun and I'm here talking to you, they didn't rob a penny. I mean, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying there's a divine plan. Secondly, is to put the family first, your relationship. That's priceless, because they're just saying, you're young, you work for the money and give up your health. As you get older, you're going to burn your money to improve your health. So you got to balance things out. So to contribute to the discussion is, one, recognize that whatever we do is not in our own power. Biggest achievements to me happen without my planning or participation. That's what I found. So I lost sight of that, so I am mellowing out now, and I'm putting that force to guide me in my speech and in my actions. Secondly, is to take better care of my family, whom I didn't see much of. So as you have this relationship, I hope you will not repeat, that chapter. So we have 4 kids, and thank God, they've done well. But at the same time, I wish I had spent more time, invested more time with them. And the third now would be the business. It will take care of itself if we have those priorities. Amen?
Amen. Amen. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. And it's so good to hear somebody reaffirm how I believe. Every morning, and I don't know if you have a routine like this, but every morning I get up, health first, gym. Mm-hmm. After gym, gratitude. Thank God. Thank you for her. Thank you for this beautiful house. Thank you for my beautiful puppy. Everything that I have, I go down the list. 20 minutes with my eyes closed. Then I get up, take a shower, drink a coffee, and come in here. I work 12 hours, and I try to maintain this attitude with everybody that touches me, everybody that comes into contact, because I realize that when I'm down, I bring everyone else down.
That's very true.
Yeah, and
very true.
So I wanted to turn that question back to you, Aston. Do you have something you do in the morning? A morning ritual that you implement? What is it that you do?
Actually, you're on the right track. In that the morning is a time to either go to the gym, get your meditation done, because that feeds the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. This morning, I went to prayer muffin on a Friday. It's 7 a.m. and that's why I have Ramon here with me today. And I find that a very good connection, grounding. Each Friday, a brother will get up and speak for half an hour of how they overcome the challenges in life with the help of Almighty God. And it's just the different stories all point to one supreme being, why they're here in front of us, sharing their victory or their story or their challenges. So on a morning basis, I'm a very spontaneous person. So even though I agree with you, morning I gotta go to the gym, but right now I gotta with LaceUp, I'll be able to do all the things that you just said. That's my next project, right? To have LaceUp up and running, so I can exactly do the exercise in the morning, the gratitude, the coffee. All right, so you're ahead of me.
Thank you, Aston. Ladies and gentlemen, Aston Lue, Mr. Ocho Rios, one of the nicest, most nice people to be around I've ever met in my life. Aston, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you very much.
This has been an incredible experience, brother. And
likewise.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.